My name is Bunny, and I am a psychology major. What I like to do in my free time, I like to watch Netflix. I'm a big fan of Netflix. I love Jesus. I love the Newman Center. I really, really do. I actually can't get enough. I was talking to someone today and they were like, Bunny, you're at the Newman Center a lot. And I was like, right. And then they were like, what major are you? And I'm like, I'm a psych major. They were like, oh, you must not have a lot. And I was like, I actually kind of do. I do have a lot, but it's okay. It's okay because I love the Newman Center and I love the people. But most of all, I love God. My story kind of with Catholicism, kind of began with my grandma. My nana, she always goes to church. She always goes to church every Sunday. She goes to the 7 o'clock mass back at our home parish. And I was not into it. I was like, wow, you're getting up early and for what? To listen to this man speak and get a little crumb of something to eat? What are you doing? I don't get it. And it's just I remember falling asleep, just falling asleep on my nana's shoulder or my sister's shoulder and just not understanding anything. But I also didn't give it a chance either. I was just kind of okay, well, I'm happy to leave. Whenever the father would be oh gosh, what does the father say? The mass has ended. And then he'd be thanks be to God. Thanks be to God. I'm ready to get out of this joint. And so, yeah, that was always just me, ready to go or falling asleep during mass. But then it wasn't until middle school where I was just whoa, that actually means something. It's also a moment in my life where it's I really needed God. Yes, of course there's family and there's friends and they're beautiful people to lean on, but it's there's something different about God and what religion can really do for you. I really needed him and he was there for me. And so that's whenever we just really grew together. I really needed God at that time because I was just really hurt by there was one specific person, but also life is rough in middle school and high school too. It was in that kind of transition where I was really feeling it. I didn't really know how to trust other people, and I didn't really know how to have faith in others that they were good. And it's not to say that everybody was bad. I knew that. The hurt that other people placed on me really, really hit hard. God was able to guide me and help me to know that you can't expect the worst from people. You have to see the good, and everybody has good inside of them. It's just harder to find in some people. You also need to forgive people as well, and that is also a big part of my journey and my story. My journey with forgiveness has not been easy because it's hard. When you're hurt, you don't want to let anybody in. It hurts me, and I don't want to give certain people that hold anymore of me. And so it's in forgiveness, it's yes, it's doing good for them, but it's also doing good for me, and I get to let that part go and just move on. And I was so ready to move on. It was just I'm more than this moment, I'm more than the hurt that you've given me, and I get to move on and live a better life. So I was a little late to getting my first communion and confirmation and everything done. So during middle school and those kind of beginning years of high school was whenever I was doing my sacrament prep. I can remember the first time that I really felt God's presence inside my heart. We did this retreat and we came up north. Meanwhile, I'm not from the north. So the north was just such a beautiful thing to encounter itself because it was so different from what I've experienced before. It was me and other kids around my age that were doing sacrament prep, and there was just this moment in adoration where it was just whoa. He's holding my heart, and I feel it and I know it. They did this thing where you got to read a letter from your family, and I was just he's not only touching me, but he's touching them through them. It was hitting me so hard. And then seeing the body of Christ, and it was just oh my goodness. And I just was crying. I was crying so hard. It was so beautiful. It was so awesome. And I wish I could go back to that moment because that was the very, very first moment where I felt something spiritually. It was the most beautiful moment of my life. And I remember that stayed with me for the longest time. And of course, like eventually it fades, but I just remember like even just coming back home, like the bus ride back and like being with like my mom and my sister, and the one who like was leading the retreat was like, be like gentle with your kids because like they're just like very like vulnerable right now. And when she said that, I was like, that is so real. Like that is 100% how I felt. Like I just felt so like raw and just like open, but like in the most beautiful way. After retreat is whenever everything kind of like started to fall into place. I went in and out of like super being like into church. After retreat, I definitely was more into it. There would be Sundays where I'm like, I'm too tired. I'm not gonna go. I'll catch you next week. But it's just like, the more that I grow, and especially with the Newman Center, it is so important to me. Like even today, I was thinking about going to not going to Bible study. I was like, no, like it doesn't feel right. Like I need to go. God is calling me to go. I will pick up the call. I will go. Ever since then, I think that right there was the moment in that middle school retreat up north is when everything just changed. Saying yes to Christ is really hard sometimes, but it is so beautiful because he's never gonna ask anything bad of you. He always wants the good for you, and sometimes that's hard, and sometimes it's doing things that we don't want to do, but it's so powerful because to say yes is just so like, he's asking you to do something, and what a beautiful responsibility that is to say yes and to like take that on. And so to me, like, that's just very powerful. Taking my faith into my own hands is just making those like conscious decisions, being like, I am gonna go to mass today, or I am gonna go to adoration for an hour, I am gonna go to Bible study today. Nobody's forcing you to do it. You're making those like decisions. And so I think that's so beautiful. And I'm so happy that like I get to make those decisions now. I think my favorite sacrament is 100% like confession. I love confession so much because again, it is so hard to bring some of those things to confession, but it's so relieving as soon as you leave. It can feel shameful, and it can feel like sometimes you're like, I'm not worthy of forgiveness. But like, that's just not at all what confession is about. It's about like giving those heavy things that you have on your heart and just like giving it to God. Knowing that you're forgiven, because no matter what you do, he's always there for you. He's always wanting to forgive you, but you have to come to him, and that's what's hard. But that also can sometimes be like the easiest thing of like, I need to go to him and I need to tell him. I've been on both sides. I like didn't go to confession for like, I think like a year or so. One time I was like talking about like scrupulosity, and then the father was like, okay, let's go for like once a week. And I'm like, okay. But it's so funny. It's like the difference between like, I waited like a year and a half one time, and now it's like, I'm just like, I'm waiting for those 7 days to like go by so I can just go. But yeah, confession is my favorite because it's really something that, yes, I really feel like whenever you receive like the body of Christ, of course I feel that. But it's like confession. And I think that's just because of me as a person. I just like, I feel bad. I feel bad all the time. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And it's so beautiful to feel forgiven. To feel forgiven, it's just like a weight off of my chest. That's really what it feels. But also I feel like me and God were good again. But I mean, you guys have been good like since the beginning. But now it's like, okay, like clean slate, let's do better. My favorite saint, actually, it's kind of hard because I wouldn't say I have a favorite, but as of recently, I've really been digging Saint Pier Giorgio Frassati. He's also new, but I love it so much because, first of all, I didn't know he was so young. I did not know he was so young. And he's like around college age too, which is just like really amazing because I really get to put that into like my own perspective of like, I mean, look at him, like he did it. His focus for the Lord is so beautiful. It's so beautiful because he's so not focused on like what about me? Like he's like, what about them? And I think that is so beautiful. And I can sometimes be a little like self-centered, and I think we all can be like that. But I know I can be like that, and that's not how I want to be. I want to be taking care of other people. I want to be taking care of God's people because that's exactly what he did. And he had such a big heart. He had such a big heart. And I hope to have even like a quarter of as much of a heart as he did.